Please, please don't yell at him. Her voice broke, trembling under the harsh fluorescent lights of the grocery store. My son has autism. The sound froze the air. Every shopper turned toward the small commotion near aisle 6, where a box of cereal lay scattered across the floor. A little boy, maybe 6 years old, sat cross-legged beside it, covering his ears and rocking gently, whispering to himself. The store manager, a tall man in a crisp shirt and name tag reading Mr. Allen, had been moments away from scolding him for the spill. But now, standing before the desperate eyes of the boy's mother, something inside him shifted. The woman, Rachel Carter, in her early 30s, with chestnut hair pulled back in a messy ponytail and tired eyes that still held warmth, bent down and placed a hand on her son's shoulder. Her voice softened instantly. "It's okay, sweetheart. You're safe. Mommy's here." If stories like this remind you that kindness still matters, please like and subscribe to Broken Chains, where every story speaks for those who often go unheard. Her son, Noah, small and delicate with wide green eyes and tousled brown hair, trembled but began to calm at her touch. His little hand stopped shaking. His breathing steadied. The sound of her voice was his anchor in a world that often felt too loud. Mr. Allen swallowed hard, the reprimand dying in his throat. The scene before him wasn't what he'd assumed. He had thought the boy was throwing a tantrum, another spoiled kid disrupting his store. But now, guilt pressed down on him like a weight. The shoppers who had been watching began to turn away, embarrassed, unsure of what to say. The silence in the aisle was deafening. Rachel helped Noah pick up the box, her hands shaking slightly as she placed the cereal back in the cart. When she stood up, she looked at the manager, not with anger but exhaustion. "I wasn't trying to make a scene," she said softly. "He just gets overwhelmed sometimes." The sounds, the lights. "It's a lot." Mr. Allen nodded slowly. I didn't know," he stammered. "I know," she replied quietly. "Most people don't." Noah tugged on her sleeve, his voice barely a whisper. "Mommy, can we go home now?" She knelt down again, smiling through her tears. "Almost, baby. Just a few more things." For a moment, the entire store seemed to move slower, as if everyone was suddenly aware of how fragile a moment of understanding could be. Later, after they checked out, Mr. Allen found himself standing near the front door, watching them leave. Something about the sight of the mother holding her child's hand, carrying both the groceries and the weight of invisible battles, made his chest tighten. He didn't know why, but he couldn't just let her walk out. "Ma'am," he called gently. Rachel turned, startled. I'm really sorry for how I spoke to you," he said, voice trembling slightly. "I shouldn't have raised my voice. He paused, exhaling deeply. "I didn't understand." Rachel gave a tired smile. "You weren't the first," she said softly, "and you won't be the last." People judge before they ask. Something about her calm honesty cut deeper than any accusation could. He nodded, his throat tight. "If you ever come back, tell them I said Noah can have a free snack." "Anytime." Her eyes widened slightly, not because of the offer, but the gesture. "Thank you," she whispered, and for the first time that day, her smile reached her eyes. Noah waved shyly. "Bye," he murmured. Mr. Allen waved back. "See you, buddy." That night, as he locked up the store, the moment wouldn't leave him. The sound of Rachel's trembling voice, "Please don't yell at him," echoed in his head. He remembered the boy's small hands over his ears, the fear in his eyes. He remembered how quick he'd been to judge. It gnawed at him, the realization of how many people might face that kind of misunderstanding every day. He sat in his small office, pulled out his phone, and began to type something he'd never thought he would. "New policy for Ridgeway Market employees. We serve everyone. If a customer or child behaves differently, we respond with patience, not judgment. Let's be the store where kindness speaks first." He hit send before he could overthink it. A week later, Rachel returned. She hadn't planned to. The memory still stung. But Noah had asked for the same cereal again, and it was the only store that carried it. When she walked through the door, she froze. A large poster stood near the entrance. "We welcome all families." Understanding starts here. If someone's struggling, lend patience, not punishment. Underneath was a small note, inspired by a brave mother and her amazing son, Noah. Rachel's eyes filled instantly. She turned, and there was Mr. Allen wiping his hands on a rag, a sheepish smile on his face. "You did this?" she asked quietly. He nodded. "You taught me something that day. I just wanted to make sure no one else forgot it." Noah tugged her sleeve. "Mommy, that's me!" Rachel crouched, tears spilling as she smiled at him. "Yes, baby, that's you." He grinned proudly, his small hand clutching hers. "I'm famous?" Mr. Allen chuckled softly. "You're a hero, kiddo." And for the first time in years, Rachel didn't feel invisible. She felt seen. That evening, she walked back to her car with Noah, his tiny hand swinging in hers. She looked back at the store one last time, the sign glowing under the soft evening light. For once, she didn't feel like she had to apologize for her son or for the world not understanding him. In that moment, she realized that compassion could grow in the most unexpected places, even between spilled cereal and broken assumptions. And somewhere deep down, Mr. Allen understood that sometimes the smallest voices, the ones that tremble when they speak, are the ones that change hearts the most.